And that's where they'll be looking to find that nice little packages in the team fights. It does the same thing, though. Yep. It's going to be a case of you've got this AD carry who's looking to move in and try and provide a bunch of AoE damage off of the Q. She got single target picks that whoever Ming decides to use that depth charge onto, Kai'Sa can fire into the backline and be an assassination threat. So this is where you're still getting, even with the misfortune on the opposite side, a lot of pressure that's coming in for both of these backlines. And I slightly favor the RNG style more because they've just got so many ways of getting access and locking down the likes of this misfortune, the likes of Xie in these fights, and then setting up successfully for Xiaohu and Betty to be the damage carries.
But we got some fun lanes to play with here as welcome to Summoner's Rift for DMO RNG game number 1. Jax top. Yeah. That's the thing that, you know, solo queue games are made of. But when you see it in competitive, you go, ooh, Jax, well, that's fun. We don't see much Jax anymore. But again, Natural, a very carry-style top laner. When he entered the league on OMG, he was known as Ale. Or a lot of people called him Ale, but it was Ale. But in the top lane, this was one of his picks. His debut last year. This is his second year here in the LPL. We're going to see what he can do up against Langxing. Excuse myself here in this game 1 as DMO. What are we preparing for here? Just fanning out for now.
Trying to see if Xiaopeng would go for any sort of pesky invade business and try and split the map. So as we talked about DMO, they tend to win out on this bottom side with Gala and Mark. So Xiaopeng potentially to try and split the map here to let Gala and Mark have that abusive bottom lane for themselves. But I think the best bet here for DMO and especially for Xiaopeng is to try and set up Natural in this top lane. RNG usually with Xiaolongbao will go for this quick clear towards the top side of the map to set up Langxing in the first 5 minutes before Dragon spawns, but we'll maybe have Xiaopeng try and answer for that.
Straight towards the top side for Xiaolongbao though, the invade begins. Vertical jungling against the Jax. As Xiaopeng, how quickly is he going to come here? He's not. He's doing wolves. Doesn't care. Or he does, but doesn't care enough to go to red.
Smart call from Xiaopeng here. I think he's realized, look, Xiaohu's pushing super aggressively, and so is Langxing in the top lane. There's some funny business going on.
Funny business in the bottom lane. Halo Blade's Kai'Sa, by the way, feels so nice to play. If you haven't already tried it in your solo queue games, you want some freelo in your laning phase, take Halo Blade's Kai'Sa. Feels really good with the proc.
Yeah, so the idea here is that Halo Blade's got a little bit of a buff a while ago where now because it's going to reset while you're in combat, you can get a couple of these Halo Blades procs off in team fights, but it works super well, especially for Kai'Sa, in setting yourself up for that passive. But Xiaopeng is going to ruin Betty's day if he gets in here.
Well, with a pushing wave, not much you can do here. Flash with the Zenith Blade. Betty respects it and flashes himself.
You see, though, it is the game plan from DMO to set up Gala and Mark for success. That was the lane we pointed towards where DMO were winning out. But if this is the case, hey, Natural's going to be pretty happy. He's going to be farming away on this top side of the map. Well, RNG might catch out Mark.
I mean, Mark comes in because he knows his jungle's bot side, but Xiaolongbao here flashes, matches as well. Mark used his before, and now the Kai'Sa that used her flash has first blood. And Xiaohu through the middle lane, that's a good pillar, but he's just out. And RNG with the net advantage to start off the game.
Yeah, he's able to sweep away from that one, Xiaohu. No real pressure. You didn't even see Langxing coming down to try and keep some sort of control there. But RNG off to a good start, and that kill going to Betty is going to help ease the problems that RNG were having on the bottom side of the map.
Able to push the bottom wave out. Gala is able to stick around and absorb it himself, though. But we'll see what that first back nets here for Betty now. We've seen a lot of Kai'Sas, even with Halo Blades, go for that early tier. Xiaopeng trying to steal this one away. And Langxing has to flash over the wall. That's the pain about Pillar. Does force flash quite easily.
Greedy call from Langxing, though, to try and steal that. Should have just got the hell out of there. Not sure what the idea was. I think stealing that could have caused major issues if Langxing had got caught. And that was one of the moments where I was like, maybe we're seeing sloppiness come through from RNG. But we're looking towards Xiaolongbao on this top side now. Can look to help out Langxing.
But Natural doesn't get away from the full Haymaker damage. We didn't see this matchup too much.
Well, this is why the Haymaker wind-up actually helps out Langxing in these instances. So if you see the counter-strike coming through, oftentimes the leap strike is going to follow from Natural. So if you take a little bit of the brunt of that damage early, well, then you can return with the Haymaker as soon as the counter-strike goes to proc. You get the Haymaker damage onto Natural, who's going to be running you down, so pretty easy to decide where that one's going to be going. But also the shield means that while you're stunned, you've got the shield there to make sure Natural isn't getting too much of a positive trade on you. And now Longxing, with the help of Xiaolongbao here, just trying to push in this wave. I don't know if they're going to be going for a play here.
Just remember on the leap strike as well, you jump in front of your target. So Longxing going to get the full smackdown of the true damage as well with the haymaker, as that's a big wave, and there's not going to be a dive, but comfortable lane here for Longxing to start around with. Might even back on top of it.
Yeah, we'll be able to back and then walk back to lane without using the teleport. And this is really crucial because RNG really, when they're getting going, like to start on these dragons nice and early. So with that dragon up, Longxing hoping to keep that teleport available for the fight. And this is what we talked about is how, oh well, there goes that one. But this is, RNG usually like to use these advantages. But yeah, screw my point.
Well, Natural has his TP. He's going to back and he's going to use it to get back to top side. Or Xiaopeng's going to find something bottom. Are there any deep wards towards the bottom lane? Not yet, but there is one around the control ward as Natural uses his TP as well.
So this will all come down to how the bottom and mid lane play when it comes to dragons, and with bot lane pushing in with a nice big wave crashing, you can see that it's Xiaopeng who's trying to get control of River, and Gala and Mark can now roam over to help him start on this dragon. Xie is backing though, no mana, so they're a little bit concerned about trying to go for this dragon just yet.
Xiaohu here can poke out with the dragon up and available. You can see Natural has the push top and he's walking all the way to the bottom lane. Or not.
Just trying to get a ward down to keep himself safe, make sure that Xiaohu's getting spotted if he tries to leave the lane a little bit early. But at least at the moment, DMO are taking things slow, and to be honest, I was kind of surprised to see DMO going for these early game plays towards Dragon. They're one of the teams with the lowest objective control across the board. They're the 7th lowest when it comes to Dragon control at 48%. Their Rift Herald control is the 2nd lowest at 38%. And even their Baron control is sub 37%.
I don't know if you wanted to pull him away from Xiaohu, but Xiaohu says, don't worry, I'll get it, never mind. Flashes over the wall. Committed the ulti for that as well. You better believe that he'll get the kill.
And nearly able to get Natural to escape with that good flash, but Xiaohu an even better flash to follow. Hook in the bottom side.
Dredge line from Ming. Betty trying to follow this one up. Again, the Hail of Blades. Great trading here. Exhausted out as he goes forward, though. And now for DMO, they have an opening onto Betty. The pillar sends him up. He now has to turn, but in the ulti, no chance whatsoever. Mark even survives.
RNG tried to go for too many plays at once. You've got Xiaohu committed to the top side, which lets Xie roam to the bottom side and turn that trade back in their favor. And now DMO can go on towards this dragon. Mark is low, but you still got Xie, Gala, and Xiaopeng who can start that one up.
An important
if they want
trade.
to.
Very important
trade.
They
want to. They're not going to.
Nah, they don't want to. Gala and Mark, I guess they're too low on the stats right now, and especially with that kill going over to the AD carry, Gala able to pick up BF sword there. Versus the tier and the pickaxe. Looking pretty good here for Gala to round out this lane that was set up early by Xiaolongbao.
They don't want their lane right now, Hysterics. Gala and Mark have started their walk towards the Rift Herald. This is what they want to try and fight RNG for. Xiaopeng going to start it up, and with Betty showing in the bottom side of the map, DMO will know they've got man advantage here.
Notice that the ward coverage is not really around the pit. It's towards the top side where Longxing is. Natural's walking here now. This makes it hard for Xiaolongbao at 2k health. He's zoned out on all angles. So DMO first to the objective. Means RNG contesting is a no-go.
And that'll be DMO picking up that Rift Herald, and now Gala and Mark can move back towards the bottom side. Betty will be able to push in this wave, but he actually did a little bit slow, so they're not going to lose too much on this bottom side, which is a great trade for DMO.
Corky package in hand as well, definitely influenced that play. We got a Sheen on him too. Notice that Xie I mentioned in Champ Select. I really associated with Corky, especially when he was back on the WE roster with Mystic down in the bottom lane. Xie, fantastic mid laner who was on WE for so many years. Now here on DMO, he's found Xiao and he says, yeah, let's make this a mid lane matchup over the wall. Package used for the worth of an ulti from Xiaohu.
Yeah, he did not want anything to deal with Xiaolongbao there, especially with Xiaohu ever to poke over the wall, but does get a decent chunk of damage onto Xiaohu for pushing this wave as Xiaohu tries to take his blue buff as well. Natural, trying to be a little bit pesky here.
Okay, Counter-Strike, let's go. Gets the stun down onto Xiaohu and goes with him as well. Natural needs one more to get that extra proc on the level 6, but Close.
I love what Natural's doing on this Jax, though. Every time he's been able to push in this wave, he's trying to make a play off the back of it. Now he had that wave pushed in against Set, so he moves into the jungle to push Xiaohu out and get advantages for Xie. This is really good play from the top laner of DMO.
And DMO in general benefit. It's going to be a Mountain Dragon towards the bottom side with Scuttle attached to it too. While Xie getting turret plating. So DMO going to be clawing back a lot of this gold.
So now I'd look like to see Xiaopeng to reward Natural for his good play, get that Rift Herald up towards the top side. We talked about how strong this Jax can be, and I think cash injection is long overdue for this top laner, especially as he's starting to struggle when it comes to the top lane matchup just at the moment.
Who shows first? The Xiaolong Bao. Xiaopeng is here. Trundle wants in. So does this Jarvan. Good pillar there as Xiaohu's coming in as well. Cataclysm stands him still. He flashes over it. Xiaohu can't get into ult, and he didn't have it anyway.
He used that in that earlier engage with Xie, so now again, all things go back to even. But you can see just because of the kills and some of these CS advantages that RNG have started to gain, they have an ever so slight lead for themselves, but nothing to write home about just yet. So DMO still very much in this, and I want to see how Xiaopeng is going to try and use this Rift Herald.
Curious because if it's either the mid or the top lane, they're Trinity Force users, and with the push coming through from Herald, they'll get their first item immediately after that. And we didn't talk about double Trinity Force, but big first items of both solo laners of DMO. Can't wait to see where this goes as Xiaopeng comes mid.
Xie now trying to get some poke onto Xiaohu. Because of the turret plates that were taken earlier on off of that play, they can now look to take down this turret. It's only Xiaohu and Xiaolong Bao here.
He has cleared the minion wave, but now the Rift Herald awaits. All you need to do is be near it. And Gala does take that by himself. All the gold went to the Misfortune, just in range to pick it up.
DMO pretty heavily focused on Gala right now, and this has been the game plan for DMO for a while, to get a lot of resources into Gala. But I think with the composition that they have set up, I'd prefer to see some of this gold going into Natural. If you can accelerate Natural to get towards this Triforce, get that Blade of the Rune King as your next item, you can very quickly take over in this side lane against Longxing. But the problem right now is that you can see he's a little bit wary about approaching the wave, where Longxing has it right now.
Black Cleaver in hand, the first item over Natural here. Naturally, the Trinity Force, one of the most expensive items in the game. But if we're looking at first item, Xiaohu with his Nash's Tooth in hand. We've got a Manamune on Betty, of course. Trinity Force just picked up for Xie as well. And we'll wait for Naturals after he clears out a couple more waves. As RNG start roaming towards the mid lane, they want a piece of Xie, especially with turret plating going down in a minute.
RNG trying to stop this blue buff from going down. They have the push in the bottom lane, but Betty hasn't quite made it over towards them yet. The blue buff is successfully secured by DMO. RNG will be backing off of this. Again, DMO, we talked about how we wanted to, they're not, sorry, the fastest paced early game team. It's actually RNG who are typically really proactive in this early game and start to fall back on the acceleration when it comes to the mid game. And when RNG haven't been able to find a huge amount in this early game to carry into the mid game, this is where DMO now might have the opportunity to come alive post 15 minutes, which is usually where we see DMOs really active.
Oh, Cataclysm, you talk about activity. Well, I don't know what Xiaolong Bao expected. No one else really here, but he's going to try and stun up until Xiaohu gets here. Flash over the wall as he's here, now makes his entrance. No mana available. Shoves him back into Longxing. A Natural going for a bit of a goose chase here.
He's going!
Is he dead? No! You couldn't kill him. RNG are the gooses.
The great escape is real. Natural on a sliver of health right there. And when again RNG are committing these resources to the top side, DMO are responding on the opposite side of the map. Gala and Mark, more gold going into their back pocket right as plates die.
Today I found out two things, that Natural is an escape artist and that the plural of goose is geese. Okay, well, show my literacy. First target going to go down to the bottom
Australian,
lane.
It's okay.
No yeah, okay. There are a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of Australians in chat who are actually going to roast you now, but
I know. I'm Irish. It's like it's more expected from my end, to be honest.
We're kind of like from the, you know, I mean, we're all criminals. Let's be quite honest. We're all criminals in Australia. Not now. Not relevant. If you don't get that, please don't think I'm a
Look up some Australian history.
Yeah,
you'll
please
understand.
do.
But
Don't take
coming
that out of
back into
context.
this game, Natural stealing away his life there to escape from that play. Now sets up DMO for success. Look at that turret gold that they have picked up. 1,100 and 0 to RNG. This is not what we usually expect from RNG, who can set themselves up successfully in this early game. We're now post that 15-minute mark, and Dragon is up for DMO. DMO are usually only ahead of 15 minutes in about 30% of their games. This is a rare occurrence, but DMO from these situations can usually eke out a victory.
Yeah, they're going to be hooked on in, and RNG say, no, you don't use your package. And while you said they are ahead and it is a rare occurrence, well, right now, RNG are closing that.
Well, cast the curse right there. Shie goes a little bit too far forward. RNG will collapse and they'll get their first dragon of their own. And it's interesting to see how RNG have developed their dragon strategy as the split's gone on, because they used to be one of the teams that massively prioritized them and had a huge amount of control of their dragons. They were top for the longest time, but it's actually started to slip now in their dragon control, where they went from one of the best to at 3 dragons average a game to now slipping to the 5th lowest dragon control. So RNG, and actually a lot of that coming from their more recent series. So RNG are starting to fall behind when it comes to objective controls, how they're eking out their advantages in these games, and now at least they've gotten one on the board to answer for DMO.
And they're not stopping right now with Xiaopeng flashing away from the Emperor's Divided. Rift Herald is up, and Xiaopeng loses his summoner. RNG in the right place at the right time this time around. But it'll just be the flash for now. RNG are committing to the objective.
Still though, keep your eyes on Natural. Triforce finished, working up towards that Blade of the Rune King, and we talk about Kassadin as this ticking time bomb. Jax is very much in the same boat, and it'll only be a matter of time before we start to hear the thunk 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 on those bottom lane turrets from Natural.
Blade of the Rune King getting buffed to 10.6. I mean, Jax felt like he inadvertently got buffed as well.
Yeah.
Also, remember that Titanic and Ravenous both got buffed as well in this patch, so Jax able to do both, but Hill up, Solar Flare, lockdown, Xiaohu dead? No, flashes away with the exhaust in hand. Shallenbow blocks the poke damage coming out of Xie. But then eventually has to flash away as well. RNG down of summoners. And the map now belongs to DMO. They're going towards his Herald.
And we talked about DMO for Natural. Get you a top laner that can do both. Split push and join in these fights. We saw Natural there swinging across because he'd created the pressure on the bottom side of the map to then look for the play with DMO. And this is what we love to see from this team. Setting up a foundation for summer is great, but potentially DMO here saying, screw that. We want to secure our playoff spot in spring. And it's a long road ahead of them. Still to take down RNG. Then they've still got to face up against JDG as well. DMO don't have an easy road, but they're starting off on a strong foot in this game.
Be realistic to elaborate. They can only hit a maximum of 7 wins. They rely on OMG and WE both failing in their upcoming series. Now, OMG have already done that today, as we saw EDG secure their playoff spot. But DMO, at the very least, they can showcase a good game here, and they can hold RNG back. As we are looking at Xiaohu in the bottom of your screen. But, I mean, this has been a game where DMO have constantly fought back, so we won't look at Xiaohu anymore. We're going to start looking at Xie more, at Gala more, at Natural. You talked about who's going to be thunking. Doing a bit of that already. Trinity Force, first item on Jax, feels so damn good.
Yeah.
Actually, like, I would put it in top 5. If you talk about Trinity Force users that it feels really good on, Trinity Force Jax, no, top 2. Screw that.
Yeah, yeah, he's super satisfied with it.
That, and I would say Ezreal feels really, really good as well. I'm not talking gold.
It's watching that like leap strike into just an entire health bar being wiped out is so nice, and the W auto attack reset into a Sheen proc just feels super good. Yeah. So this is where Jax is definitely hitting his stride, and you can see that what was once a long Shin favored matchup is no longer the case. 20 CS lead starting to open up, and we're actually seeing a bit of a different build path come through here for the Jax. Picked up the Caulfield's Warhammer instead. We were talking about the Blade of the Rune King.
Could be Essence.
So, could be Essence Reaver. That's what I'm thinking coming in here. Or could even start going towards as well. Don't forget the Death's Dance. That's got the buffs coming with the armor, the magic resist, and would opt into Natural going for more of a team fight style because, hey, look, I can come in and still deal with the damage that Xiaohu has alongside helping me out in the split push against Longxing.
I should reiterate, I think Trinity Force feels good on whoever kind of uses it and builds it first item, right? Like GP's another great example. We'll go on forever if we talk about Trinity Force users. Just being the Jax player, I love the feeling of getting Trinity Force first. Turret going to go down here on the top side, and while we are talking about our Trinity Force users on the side of DMO, you look at the attack speed user in Xiaohu, who's going towards the Haunting guys, the Liandry's Torment. Second, he's picking up a bit of solo turret gold, while Natural's pushing the same, and people just trying to ramp up towards their second, third items here.
And both teams will be trying to ramp up towards that second dragon as well. You can see the pings are going down as that one is about to spawn in just 15 seconds. Infernal Soul on the map, and both teams would be delighted to pick that one up for themselves. Particularly if you look at the likes of Xie, these rockets, if you can have that extra Infernal Soul damage on top of that as the pop could do a lot more poke towards the likes of RNG, as well as Xiaohu, who'd be able to take a few pop shots at people. These Infernal Souls can make massive differences here.
Herald must have been timing out though. Xiaopeng is just going to put it behind their lines. Going to be running down the mid lane. They're going to use the emphasis on it to group up as 5.
Natural will be spotted on a ward in River here, so RNG know that he's there, but Xiaohu's still in a pretty precarious situation. Could have been dived on by DMO there.
Can't shuffle out of it now with the soldier there. Rift Herald is just going to die to RNG. They stick around 5 as mid. DMO doing the same. Package in hand for Xie.
Trying to split up this team fight. That's why we see Xie getting into a position where he can flank from, and RNG need to respect this Corki with package available.
Infernal Rift. You want to pick this up early. Mark flashes in for the Zenith Blade. Doesn't land, but they do pick up the Dragon. It's the bullet time used by Gala. Ming has to flash away as well. DMO running away from this choke as RNG trying to follow them.
Oh, Xiaohu trying to get multiple soldiers onto DMO, but they do pick up the Dragon. DMO now need to go back, though, to protect their mid lane turret. RNG setting up to try and push them back and allow Betty and Ming to work on it.
They're almost stuck here. FLICKR goes in. They are stuck, but it's more about zoning.
We'll make it back towards the tower. DMO are here to protect it. Again, though, when we look at all things said and done, it's a DMO victory, and it's only 1,000 gold lead. But still, it's one that we didn't expect DMO to have coming into this series. And we have to praise them. They've been looking stellar when it comes to this series. Keeping themselves in control in the early game, responding to RNG's pressure well. They've now gotten 3 turrets down for themselves, all outer turrets down. And with this Baron up, they should be the ones that are keeping control of that area.
Teleport available for Natural, so he split pushes the bottom lane. Ping's going down from RNG to go towards the top side. Longxing has TP as well, so does Xiaohu. And Xie. Surprise, surprise, solo laners like TP. As Xie right now matching Xiaohu. The wave getting pushed in and RNG setting up for position. Also just dropping a couple of wards down.
So DMO need to try and keep control of where the wards for RNG are. If Longxing gets the option for a flanking teleport, it could spell disaster, but Betty
Counter-Strike flashed away from Natural, walks through the gap in vision.
And this is what we talked about. Natural pushing in this wave and then looking to group with the rest of the team. He's been doing it really well. And Longxing just hasn't had the control of the bottom lane to try and push aggressively against Natural to stop these plays from happening. And now where we're starting to see Natural with the Triforce working in towards that death stance, I imagine, is going to be able to do this over and over. And RNG can no longer just hold down safely in this mid lane.
He's 30 CS up over Longxing right now.
It's growing.
23 minutes into 236. He's farming more than a CS a minute. 10 CS a minute, I should say. But at this point, Natural now has the shove towards the bottom side. Pings are going down yet again.
RNG moving in aggressively here, and DMO making the smart choice to back off. All they want is Natural in this decent spot where he can either roam and help them out, or and then they can get the teleporter to Longxing, or he just gets that bottom lane turret.
I keep thinking the Azir is Gen G for some reason. As Ming is going to be pulled in here versus 4 people. He's tanky enough. RNG looking to turn this one around, and Longxing's not here.
Natural is, though. So now this is DMO with control of this mid lane, can look to crack open this tier 2. DMO are playing the pressure that Natural can create so well, and this is what we talked about in our opening segment. DMO are learning to use Natural's advantages.
Something they really struggled with in the early weeks. Now 4 members pushing through mid here as Natural has TP but is walking back towards the bottom lane. DMO pull away, coordinated play. 24 minutes, DMO have the gold lead still in hand.
See if they can keep this one pushing forward though. DMO are not a very quick team when it comes to their advantages. They have the 4th longest win time in the LPL right now, and they're looking with this game, it looks like, to keep a hold of that spot, if not push higher in the standings for longest win time. And why not? When you've got Natural on this Jax, the longer this game goes, the better this Jax is going to be, a better position this Jax is going to be in and keeping pressure on this bottom side. And now he's got that death stance, he can look to either, again, join in team fights, or could even look to go for these super strong dives onto Longxing when he gets up towards that Blade of the Rune King and just a couple more items under his belt.
Infinity Edge picked up as well for Xie. 2 items on that bottom lane misfortune as DMO is scouting here. RNG in front of Baron, they hold vision. DMO have to inch in just to get a piece. Natural still roaming up, flexing around.
Look at where Natural is. He can either go in towards this fight or even back off with the help of others to take Dragon. It's found Betty though, no flash.
The rest of RNG here to back him up. Ming looking for the dredge line. Natural good dodge away.
He set up a slow push for Natural on that bottom side as well. So this is where RNG are going to start losing resources if they continue this extended trade.
5 people still around mid. Who backed away? It was Xiaopeng. I don't know if RNG saw that one, but onto Baron or baiting it in.
Definitely baiting it in. You don't have any of those blue wards available for DMO right now, so they can't spot where RNG are. Looking to use the Make It Rain to see if they can pressure on towards Baron, or at least spot where RNG are. Now RNG will start this up.
Natural sitting around waiting. You see Gala through the mid lane, but he needs to move here fast. 5k on the Baron. DMO running in. Solifleur onto the back line. Longxing used the ulti, trying to get in somewhere, but taken away by Xiaopeng. DMO walk in, say it's theirs. RNG now scattered to the wind as Xie gets help from the rest of them. DMO take Baron, they take the fight, they say thanks.
And now they can turn towards this Dragon as well, get themselves onto Infernal Soul, but they can also crack open this mid-tier 2. Now the struggles that Longxing was having against Natural are only amplified.
And they push the turrets so damn quickly here with Baron. If you have a Corki and a Jackson a side lane, you better believe it's going to be hard for RNG to hold on. 5k gold lead in the pocket of DMO, now on the verge of Infernal Soul as well.
StarX, we're starting to get an answer to our question, RNG or RNG, and right now DMO are making it very obvious that RNG has shown up to play right now. StarX and Black Cleaver are the only things on Longxing, whereas we look over towards Natural. We already talked about the Death Stance being finished. He's going to be able to pick up a good bit more when he backs here. We just haven't seen him back since that Baron play.
Natural now in a 2-level lead over Longxing. Longxing is going to know that Natural's unbeatable. Ming's coming down the cavalry here, but Ming, I tell you what, you do not win against the Jax. Get out of there. He will 1v2. Teleport's coming down as well. He doesn't care about Longxing, even with the ult coming through. This is a big Jax. He doesn't have much mana, but enough to counter-strike. Flush away, Sterix Gage, and Natural is king this game.
He's level 16 as well. This Jax is huge. A 40, or nearly actually 50 CS lead for the Natural. Xiaopeng and Gala, off the pressure that's happened in this bottom lane, are now going to push in top. Natural is backed and now is teleported up towards the top side.
TP play onto Xie though, the Corki. How's the mobility going? All he knows he has to turn onto Xiaohu. The Emperor's divide, but Xiaohu trades, rather Xie trades in the end.
And look at the base! DMO are running away with this!
Running through mid with the Baron buff with Natural towards the top side. Inhibitor exposed, turret going down. RNG set to lose.
Go on, lads. DMO, we were trying to count you out, but DMO are still standing up and trying to ruin RNG's day.
It's like RNG are going to try and use their last stand here, but Ming caught out Solifleur into the backline. Betty has to escape. DMO find another. Inhibitor's going to go down, and with the death timers there, I don't see why DMO don't end.
They definitely can. I mean, they've got all 5 members here. Towers will melt in front of Jackson Corki.
First one goes down, RNG, 3 members in front, DMO, the flag and dragon in the backline, the last stand here. Engage comes through from Longqing, but they don't have enough damage. DMO are holding RNG back, and here in this game one, the minions are starting to wail away. Nexus exposed. DMO walking in on top of Betty now. That's it. DMO smack 'em.